Hello, my name is Claudia, and in this reflection, I will discuss why it is important for teachers to understand disability categories and specific learning disabilities, how this knowledge supports instructional planning, and how educators can create inclusive learning environments for students with exceptionalities. From my experience working as a professional in a middle school in Georgia for several years, I have learned that understanding learning disabilities is essential for every teacher. Teachers interact with students every day, and they are often the first people to notice when a student is struggling academically, socially, or emotionally. Because of this, it's important for teachers to understand the definitions, characteristics, and possible causes of different disabilities. Research on learning disabilities explain that students may experience challenges in areas such as reading, writing, math, processing information, memory, or attention. These challenges do not mean that students are not intelligent or capable. Instead, it means that they may process information differently. When teachers understand this, they are better prepared to recognize early signs that a student may need additional support or evaluation and can collaborate with the IEP team to provide appropriate service and accommodations. Teachers also need to recognize that students develop in different ways. When planning instruction, it's important to consider a student's cognitive, linguistic, social, and emotional patterns of development. Cognitive development relates to how students think and process information, while linguistic development involves how they understand and use language. Social and emotional development affects how students interact with others, manage frustration, and build confidence. In my experience working in a middle school classroom, I have seen how academic struggles can sometimes affect the students' confidence and motivation. Because of this, teachers should plan instruction that supports different learning needs. Strategies such as breaking assignments into smaller steps, providing visual supports, and allowing additional time, and using multiple ways to explain information can help students access the curriculum and feel more successful. The videos about reading, math, writing, attention, and organization challenges help me better understand what learning can feel like for students with disabilities, especially students with dyslexia. One important takeaway from these videos is that learning challenges are often invisible. A student may appear capable, but internally they may be struggling to read words, organize their thoughts, or stay focused during instruction. For example, students with dyslexia may read slowly, struggle to decode words, or confuse letters. This makes reading frustrating and exhausting, especially during classroom activities that requires a lot of reading. These challenges can also affect the students' confidence and participation in class. This type of simulation helps teachers and others better understand what students experience in the classroom. They also help educators explain learning disabilities to people who may not fully understand them. Sometimes people assume that a student who struggles academically is not trying hard enough, but learning disabilities show that the issue is not effort, but how the brain processes information. Understanding these challenges also encourage collaboration. Teachers can work with special education teachers, specialists, and families to identify effective strategies that support the students with learning differences and help them succeed academically. Another important benefit of understanding disabilities is the ability to create inclusive classrooms. Inclusive classrooms are environments where all the students feel respected, supported, and valued. When teachers understand the challenges students may face, they are more likely to provide accommodations and adjust instructions so that every student can participate in learning activities. Finally, from a Christian worldview perspective, it is important to remember that every child has a value and dignity. As educators, we are called to treat the students with compassion, patience, and respect. Teachers should also be sensitive to families who may be struggling after their child receives a disability diagnosis. By communicating with empathy and providing encouragement, Educators can help families feel support and reassured that their child can succeed with the right resources and support. In conclusion, understanding disability categories and specific learning disabilities is essential for educators. This knowledge helps teachers recognize learning challenges, plan effectively instruction, and collaborate with other professionals and create inclusive classrooms where all students feel support and value. Thank you for listening.